This is the Troll Patrol, live with Justin Freakin.
Welcome to the Troll Patrol live. It's a freaking Wednesday, isn't it? It's Wednesday. It's a little off. Just barely got YouTube turned on in time. I don't know if you guys got the intro or not. Sorry about that. We've been watching police chases. There was one this morning out of LA that was pretty fucking wild. Very enjoyable. And then we've been watching this other one. The cops let the suspect get away, but they arrested two other people that we think had absolutely nothing to do with the incident in question. But cops are fucking useless, so what would you expect? Welcome, good evening. I told you last night might be the last stream. I wasn't lying to you. I didn't know what today would bring. I don't know what tomorrow will bring. Who knows? I did receive a very generous donation from a couple people. Thank you very much. I'm still pretty well fucked, but you helped me eat. I'll be fine. I will be fine shortly. Crazy shit going on. Welcome in. Welcome, YouTube peeps. It's light one up, tip one back. If you're on YouTube and you're a right winger and you'd like to call in, 917-830-4359. You can hop in the Discord chat. Let's have a little discussion. Had a lot of people in my YouTube yelling at me over all sorts of things. I like this dude in my YouTube comments here. I'm gonna pull this up for you. You guys got to see this. Clinically! Yo, asshole, what's going on? Good to see you, my friend. Hope you are well. I like this comment right here. Our friend Terry starts off, "You are a pussy. You leftist freaks are pushing civil war, so bring it on, fucktard. You don't know real American patriots who will hand you your own ass, you commie fuck." Get down to his last one. This is what's no sense at name calling anymore. I'll be the idiot if I keep this up. Imagine having a name like Terry and calling other people pussies. Yeah, I was like, your first comment was calling me names, and now you're playing victim. What a hypocrite. Are you kidding me? No, I'm not kidding you, you fucker. Everybody can see it. He wanted the Civil War shit. The only people who ever talk about Civil War are right-wingers. Yes, because we know it's coming because of leftists, communists, and George Soros-funded fucks who do not belong here. People like me do my homework and read and study my history and will never be brainwashed. You are a sick individual and could never win a factual debate. You are nothing big talking piece of liberal trash. You've not only never done homework, you were absent during all the classes. You know nothing about history or factual debate. That's why you're calling me names and ranting about nonsense. You're totally the brainwashed one here. Prove me wrong. What do you stand for? Be honest. I know basically who you hate. I believe in common sense, tradition, and this country is important to me. Who do I hate? I'll tell you who I hate. Dumbasses that claim they know history but have never read a book. And I stand for freedom. Common sense is what idiots call their beliefs. By the way, I graduated class of 88 and know that what college is pushing on kids nowadays is anti-American and victimhood. Everyone's rights are protected except the conservative or Christian. The very comment where he's claiming other people have some sort of victimhood. He's playing victim. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, and you should learn what a logical fallacy is. I've not read all these comments. I was on stream as this was happening. I read this one and responded to it. So let's read these together. You stand for freedom for the leftist groups only. How does one come to that conclusion? I stand for freedom for leftist groups. I've read more books than you can count. Doubt? You guys are like parrots repeating a well-rehearsed liberal guide. Says the guy that came on here and accused me of being paid for by Soros. Jesus. The same tired, worn-out shit. Bottom line is that if you idiots believe you will overcome this country and its values, then you will be sadly mistaken when patriots stop your kind under our boots. You can't defend your own idea. What's good about your movement? Tell me what it's produced, except hate speech and violence. Do you condone violence? Normal people are sick of it. That's why we are enraged now at your kind of movement bullshit. He asked me if I condone violence right after telling me that patriots were going to stomp my kind under their boots. They say the Mexicans need to learn English. Like, this dude is incredibly pissed off and probably violent. Hand me my own ass. Pushing civil war. Nothing in my comments have been violent at all. I'm mocking his dumbass. I don't know how we deal with this, guys. This is an issue. Media literacy in this country. Literacy in this country, civic literacy in this country, literacy in this country. Those are issues. One of the things that struck me was last night when we were going over the government shutdown, I kept reiterating what the Democrats were shutting the government, the five were refusing to vote for the bill, why they were doing it. The news hits that we watched didn't. Even if you're a liberal, I don't know if you know the actual reason why the Democrats refused to vote for the funding bill, which was two things. They didn't want Trump to use rescission to go back in. If they passed the funding bill, they didn't want Trump to go back in with rescission and cut out funds that they had already designated per this funding bill. They wanted an assurance on that, and then they wanted protection of the ACA subsidies. The right wing screamed that this was giving illegals health care, which couldn't be further from the truth. Undocumented migrants don't qualify for health care. You have to be here legally, possibly temporary protected status, asylum, green card, visa. Those are the people that could qualify for the ACA subsidies that the Democrats are trying to protect. Pumpkin Spice, welcome in. Good evening. Zon, welcome. I think there's even a Killer Mike song, Run the Jewels song, about how, like, you're hypocrites. You've never read the word of Jesus. It's insanity right now. I feel like we are a week or two, possibly less, away from them rounding up leftists. And then what should also scare the shit out of you is they have been demanding voter rolls from all the states. Several states have had to sue the DOJ to not turn over voter rolls. And this is another reason why you got to protect your trans homies. There's a reason why they start with like the smallest minority group, 1 to 5% of the population. Most people don't know a trans person in their life. It's easy to test out their fascist policies on the smallest groups. That is why they're coming for the trans community. And we have to stick up for them. First they came for our trans homies. And I said nothing because I wasn't trans. Ain't gonna happen on my watch. You can put me in alligator Alcatraz, you fucking fascist. The Israeli Navy boarded the summoned flotilla They are currently under siege. We're going to watch a live stream here momentarily.
Donc là, vous voyez
This was just in the last few hours.
un autre bateau qui appartient à la petite. Et là, tout ce que vous voyez en touche de petits bateaux, c'est les Zodiacs israéliens. Généralement,
Mr. Elwood, welcome in.
là, c'est une interception d'un de nos bateaux.
This is the Israeli Navy. You are approaching a blockaded zone. If you wish to deliver aid to Gaza, you may do so through the established channels. Please change your course toward the port of Ashdod, where the aid will undergo a security inspection and then be transferred into the Gaza Strip.
Yeah, show your face, coward. Oh, absolutely. It's to not be identified. To not be in the history books. They are aware of what they're doing.
Donc là, vous voyez l'interception. Là, on a notre bateau.
This is the New York Post intersposing footage from the IDF with footage from the flotilla's live stream, which we're going to take here in just a second.
Là, c'est une interception d'un de nos bateaux.
This is the Israeli Navy. You are approaching a blockaded zone. If you wish to deliver aid to Gaza, you may do so through the established channels. Please change your course toward the port of Ashdod, where the aid will undergo a security inspection and then be transferred into the Gaza Strip.
I'd go with the flotilla. If I had the opportunity, I'd totally go with the flotilla. This is a live shot. This is currently. There is a U.S. veteran on the ship. I believe we have a U.S. journalist on there too. The State Department should be advocating for our citizens. Apparently they have detained Greta again.
On our top story this evening, the flotilla, roughly a 42-vessel convoy, and you can see the images of that flotilla on our screens right now. Some of the vessels that have been intercepted in
several people pointed out, like, fascism is contradictory.
Has said that they are in an active combat zone.
They're both the strong men.
They are in international waters, and what they're doing is absolutely legal. But we've got an update now from the Israeli Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
And they play victim.
And this is a quote from an ex-post that they've put up. They've said, already several vessels of the Hamas Sumud flotilla have been safely stopped and their passengers are being transferred to an Israeli port. Greta and her friends are safe and healthy. And you remember Greta Thunberg was detained and then deported a few months ago. There are roughly about 500 people from around the world, part of this flotilla, about 42 vessels full of aid, things like baby formula, based on what they were telling me. I was speaking earlier to David Adler, a flotilla crew member, on the phone, and they were saying they were basically waiting now and expecting the Israeli authorities, the military, to board the vessels and detain or take them off the vessels. Of course, there are some 42 of these vessels in that convoy, the largest that they've ever had, with roughly about 500 people on board, as I said, from around the world, trying to make their way towards Gaza. Partly symbolic, because this situation was totally predicted based on the previous flotillas that we've seen, whether it was in 2010 or in different times in the past couple of years. They've been intercepted and deported. There was a violent escalation in 2010 where almost 10 people were killed, but there were assurances given by the Israeli Foreign Ministry to the Italian Foreign Minister that there would be no violence used to prevent them, but they would eventually be intercepted, which is exactly what's happened. Now, those on board the flotilla probably knew this would be the outcome, and yet they wanted to do it because they say they wanted to highlight the plight of the Palestinian people. The Israeli Foreign Ministry says that this was just performative and that they should have given the aid they wanted to deliver into Gaza to the right authorities. But of course, we know from the past almost year, the last 9 months, 8 months or so, that no aid, sufficient aid, has not been getting into Gaza. There was a blockade earlier in the year, and now just over 100 trucks are managing to get into Gaza. Many are concerned about the number of trucks. Famine has been declared in parts of Gaza City. So this particular flotilla, attempting to highlight the issue in Gaza, the Israeli Foreign Ministry accusing them of being Hamas-backed, and say that they are now being transferred to an Israeli port. And they've made a dig there at Greta Thunberg and said her and her friends are safe and healthy. So that's a bit of an update there.
You know what, Tash? I would like to have a debate with you. I'm going to prove a point. Please hop in the Discord. This is going to be fun. Why'd you throw it out there if you weren't ready? Gotta come in here and hijack my chat all the fucking time. You got a bad case of main character syndrome. Like, you never come in here and just watch and learn fucking anything. You gotta come in here and run your cocksucker. But then you'll, like, tell me I should have to watch, like, some 3-hour fucking video to respond to you. God damn. God damn. Stupid people. And see, now you took me away from an incredibly important topic that we should all be talking about, the genocide in Gaza. And your fucking ass, like, you... Fuck you, God. You're so annoying. Anyway, the point is that you don't know shit about the government. So you should have opinions on the government shutdown because you're fucking stupid. That was going to be the point that I was going to make. Just so you know. Like, what the fuck do you know about government functions? Oh, you don't? Then shut the fuck up. Flo, welcome in. 38 people. We'll get to this here in a second. Let me give you some smoky. "38 people from 16 countries kidnapped by Israel."
Hi, my name is Nico. I am with the participants of Sirius. If you are watching us this video, it's because we have been attacked or abducted by the Israeli forces, and we ask for you to ask for your government to release us or to make something to keep this tribulation safe.
3.
Hi, my name is Nico. I am with the participants of Sirius. If you are watching us this
38 people from 16 countries
attacked or abducted by the Israeli forces, and we ask for you to ask for your government to release us or to make something to keep this tribulation safe.
List of the people captured in the country they represent. You see multiple Americans on there. There is a veteran from Illinois on the flotilla.
Breaking right now, activists aboard a Gaza-bound aid flotilla say the Israeli Navy is intercepting their vessels. This is video from Global Samud Flotilla. First, you see the crews on the deck wearing life vests. In another video, the deck is empty. Our Suzanne Lehman-Yo spoke to a Central Illinois woman who is on a boat in the flotilla. She joins us now live from the newsroom with the very latest on this. Suzanne, good afternoon.
Chris, there are nearly 50 boats among the flotilla, and Marine Corps veteran Jessica Klotfelter from Windsor, Illinois, is on a boat with other military veterans. And she, along with the organizer of the veterans delegation, spoke with me on Zoom. It was quite a shaky connection. And this happened about an hour before the Israeli Navy intercepted that flotilla. Jessica Klotfelter was once on the security detail for Presidential Helicopter Squadron Marine 1. Today, she spoke to us while aboard the Oela, which is part of the flotilla in the Mediterranean Sea right now. At the time of our Zoom, she and United States Army Ranger veteran Greg Stoker were about 90 nautical miles from Gaza, with about 12 Israeli naval vessels in sight. This picture was taken by Jessica as an Israeli naval vessel approached their boat. shining a large spotlight.
Are you afraid, Jessica?
The fear's there, but I talk to it. I understand why it's there, trying to keep us safe, and I try to make friends with it. But this is something that we've trained for and practiced in our own exercises for the last month.
Clodfelter and her fellow veterans have been at sea for more than a month. They say they're carrying humanitarian aid and they want to deliver it to Gaza, even though Israeli officials have said anyone trying to enter Gaza will be taken into custody.
The images that have been coming out of Gaza for the last 2 years, and they're heartbreaking. They're gut-wrenching. I mean, I've cried probably every single day on this boat as the violence since we've taken off on 31 August has escalated.
Well, we received an update from Clodfelter's attorney here in Chicago just a short time ago, and she told us Jessica's boat has not been boarded, but the spotlight has been kept on them as other larger vessels in the flotilla have been boarded. In the newsroom, Suzanne Lemonnier, CBS News, Chicago.
We'll keep an eye on this one, Suzanne. Thank you.
Trump apparently has given Hamas 4 days to accept the 20-point plan that we went over last night. This on the backdrop of Israel tightening its siege of Gaza.
Israel's defense minister today said Gaza City was nearly fully encircled, the last chance for civilians to get out. On the coast road, those able to flee on foot, afford the cost of transport, of somewhere to sleep at the other end, were doing so as the city behind them continued to be pounded.
Everything's being fired at us. Everything's destroyed. There are explosions everywhere. There's nothing left for us.
Another reason for this renewed scramble, Israel's warning that this road would soon be partially blocked. The Israeli military said the checkpoint would be placed on the intersection of the Al-Rashid coastal road and what Israel calls the Netzarim corridor. Civilians would still be allowed south with inspections, but travel north back towards Gaza City would be prohibited. But this afternoon, no checkpoint, instead reports of approaching tanks and gunfire from the air. A patch of land meters away, repeatedly strafed. On one of the donkey carts, a teenager nursing what looks at first like an injured arm, but in reality is barely that. His left hand connected to his body by little more than bone. Injured by shelling that killed a woman and 2 young children as they too headed towards supposed safety.
When we got to
the Netzarim crossing, we found out that there was bombing going on and tanks firing and quadcopters and people dead on the road.
The ground incursion into Gaza City remains slow. The Israeli army releasing these images today of its soldiers clearing ruined streets and buildings. From the air, the campaign is relentless. This still image all we can show of a strike near a water truck, leaving bodies scattered. The IDF yet to respond to our request for a comment. The International Committee of the Red Cross today suspending its operations in Gaza City because of the dangers. Yesterday, Donald Trump gave Hamas 3 to 4 days to respond to his peace plan, which would see it release all Israeli hostages and commit to permanent disarmament. Conflicting reports today on the early signals coming from Hamas leaders in Doha. Worth remembering that while the world has watched in real time Gaza's descent into horror, its people have been watching the world's response, perhaps never more closely than now.
The choices are difficult for Hamas, but I believe reason and the demands of the Palestinian people will make them agree to Trump's plan, regardless of its details. They have to say yes or no. At this stage, they can't maneuver.
Approaching Gaza's coastline, meanwhile, the dozens of boats making up the Sumud or Steadfastness flotilla. The activists have refused Greek and Italian calls to offload and donate the aid they're carrying for Gaza.
Damn holiday.
To highlight what they call an illegal blockade. Overnight, they say Israeli naval vessels approached and jammed their communications.
You do like that gangster rap. That sounded like some fucking rap lyrics.
The former mayor of Barcelona, Ada Colau, saying they were prepared to be attacked and detained. Israel has warned the boats to turn back and has been preparing for what would be a complex multiple interception. In the last hour, activists have declared an emergency, saying they expect soon to be confronted by the Israeli Navy.
Well, earlier I spoke
to
an elder from UNICEF who's in Gaza, and I asked him what conditions were currently like there.
Look at that tie.
Yesterday, Christian, you're talking about 1,000 airstrikes in the space of a few weeks. I heard many in the small space time I was there. There is a level of panic among people, and there's also a level of deprivation. I was by a water truck and just seeing hundreds of people rush to it because they have not seen water in days. And time and again, people would ask me, are we safe in the south? Now, of course, the reality is, no, they're not safe in the south. I was at a hospital earlier today. Many children, Christian, who were in tents at night time, and there was an airstrike in a nearby tent. You can imagine how quickly shrapnel rips through a tent. So children who are paralyzed, children with head injuries, children with amputations, all in these so-called safe zones.
And what are the conditions and the supplies like in the hospitals?
Horrific. I was in NASA just a few hours ago, Christian, and for the first time I'm seeing now corridors, hospital hallways, absolutely full of mums and newborns. Babies who are premature now. In the first 6 months of this year, 1/3 of all births were either premature or underweight, or they went straight to the ICU. So I'm meeting a little baby who was in ICU for 21 days and is now in a hospital hallway. These are first-rate hospitals, but they're just absolutely overrun. I've not seen this before, where we are literally talking about scores of babies. I've met women who've had miscarriages fleeing to the south. I met a mum in a tent 2 days ago, Noor, who should be eating for 3 because she's 9 months pregnant, Christian, with twins. She's barely eating for 1. She spoke about, with her first child, the cravings that mums have. Her cravings are just for food. So the situation for mums, for newborns, is absolutely the worst it's ever been after 2 years of this.
So do you have any sense of what that means for, what they call excess deaths? This is, not people killed by bombing or starvation, but people who are dying because of the conditions there now.
We don't. I mean, the one woman who had a miscarriage as she tried to walk from Gaza City to the south, and I spoke to a doctor in NASA Hospital about this. He said he had 6 cases like that in the space of a day. I mean, Christian, on my very first day back here, and this is my 6th mission back to Gaza City, and I was committed to try and get to a hospital because I'd heard that there were actually some, volunteers going around to try and bring a little bit of energy and happiness, childhood back to children. I wanted to see that. I wanted to share that because there is an immense community spirit here. There's an immense spirit from parents, doctors, nurses. But at the hospital, Christian, within 30 minutes, I was in a room. Well,
Carla, welcome in.
There were 4 children, all having been shot by quadcopters. In the hospital, there was a teenage boy who'd been down to one of these Gaza humanitarian funds and had been shot and was lying bleeding on the floor because there were no beds, no beds whatsoever for patients. Then a little girl came in, a little 5-year-old girl who'd been pulled from the rubble. Now, she survived, didn't even have any broken bones. But this little girl, Sham, was not yet aware that her sister and her mother died in that strike. And then I was in ICU, Christian. It's a makeshift ICU, and looking at a little girl, a 6-year-old girl, Aya, looking at the care, the love she'd had. She had these little bobs in her hair and clean fingernails, but she'd been in an airstrike. And as the doctor explained to me the severity of her situation, she died. She died in front of us. That's 30 minutes in a hospital, and that's a hospital getting the overflow from those people under attack in the north.
I am so sorry. I will be right back. Go ahead, light one up, tip one back. It's all right to have a little fun before you hit the sack. I'm JustinFREAKIN.
All we're establishing is this guy's wicked, sick aesthetic.
Not high enough for this shit.
I guess I gotta thank Matt Walsh for introducing me to JustinFREAKIN.
Hey there, y'all. We're about to get stupid, locked into what that news beat doing. Fu Manchu and a slick bandana, colder than ice, smoother than Santana. Audio, video, chat and calls. Right-wing nut jobs haunt the halls. What you wanna watch? Hey, what you think? And there's only one choice. It's JustinFREAKIN.
The guy's, he's a formidable voice in the call.
Light one up and tip one back. It's a right to be high. Let's grab a snack. It's fucking news, quit panic, attack, and play your cards right and get a titty slap. Jump in Discord, have some fun. The man will talk to everyone. Get high and try to debate. When shit pops off, chat thinks it's great. What do you think you're doing? Join the troll. Wherever discourse is brewing, he gives it that southern drawl.
So let's go ahead and bring in Justin. Hey Justin, how's it going, brother?
First of all, I want to say you're poser South. I'm in Alabama. I'm the real South.
Okay, all right. So why don't you tell us what it takes to be a man?
Well, I don't know. I'm in Alabama and I'll fuck a man in a dress. Why won't you fuck a man in a dress? Are you that insecure that you won't fuck a man in a dress?
That's fantastic. So you're okay with that, right?
Yeah. Why wouldn't I be?
Right-wingers are morons.
Like one it and hit one back. One more click before we hit the set an alert when that shit goes live. Social fucking support and hit subscribe. Light one up and take a hit. He does no harm, but it takes no shit. He's the last one standing when the ship is sinking. Let's take another rip for JustinFREAKIN.
Light one up. Tip one back. I'm JustinFREAKIN.
Not high enough for this shit.
We live in turbulent times. The media is full of deception, conspiracy theories, and fake news. Now, more than ever, it is important to ensure you're getting information from a source that's freaking reliable.
I'm Justin Mullins, and this is the Freakin' News.
Get a breaking or interesting story with a humorous twist in about a minute weekdays, 8 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, BitChute, Odyssey, and more.
Hi, I'm JustinFREAKIN. I'm a leftist broadcaster and comedian. Not liberal. Leftist. And despite what you may have heard from right-wing propaganda, George Soros isn't handing out Soros bucks and funding people like me. There are no Koch brothers, Mercers, or any number of right-wing think tanks funding content on the left side of the spectrum the way they fund people like Ben Shapiro, Dave Rubin, and Dennis Prager. And YouTube doesn't monetize videos that are controversial or deal with politics unless you're someone like Steven Crowder. So this is an ultimatum. Become a patron. Support my Patreon, or I'm going to become a right-winger and get some of that easy money. You know for a fact that I could be bigger than Charlie Kirk or Jesse Lee Peterson.
Amazing!
All I have to do is talk about how I used to be an SJW snowflake, but the left went too far with their cultural Marxism, and Republicans are stupid enough to buy it, even though this video exists. And you know I'm right. So give me your money or I'm selling you out. I think I am bigger than Jesse Lee Peterson now, aren't I? Is he around anymore? And I got one thing over Charlie Kirk. I'm alive. Sorry about that. I had a DiGiorno pizza, and it apparently did not sit well with me. That was, whew. Is he still around? No way. DJ Dub, welcome in. Let's find out what Jesse Lee Peterson's been up to. That's a name I haven't heard of. It's still 500,000 subscribers. One day ago. That's what he... Jesse Lee Peterson destroys callers' logic for voting for Virginia's woman governor.
Let me go to Rick out of Virginia. Rick, you are on the air.
What's going on, Jeff? Everybody and their mama will listen to the Justin Lee Peterson show for knowledge today, brother.
Amazing.
Wait, is Jesse calling himself? What's this horse? Is that a Jesse Lee Peterson action figure?
Thank you.
And the question I was going to ask is, we got a governor's race here in Virginia, man. We got Wilson Sears and Abigail Spanberger. And I went to early vote yesterday, and I voted for the whole Republican slab. And some Democrats was out there. They gave me a piece of paper. They told me, here's who you vote for. They had all the Democratic candidates. They had them all, down who to vote for. So while I was voting, I didn't vote for them, Jeff. So while I went, I wrote down some issues that, that she stood for, that the Democratic candidate stood for. And Jeff, they don't have a clue what that Democratic...
And what he's talking about is Earl Winsome Sears. She is the lieutenant governor of Virginia currently. She's running for governor against former Congresswoman, or I guess she's still... Is she still in... No, she left... She left at the end of last term. Former Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger.
Candidate stands for, you know what they told me?
Is the Democratic nominee. Spanberger's got about 5 points on her in the last poll I looked at.
If you passing flyers out, you should know her vision. Am I right, Jesse?
At least have some idea for sure.
Yeah, they didn't know. I said,
did you vote for a woman?
Well, yeah, Jesse, we ain't got no choice. We got 2 women running for governor. No man involved.
You voted for a woman?
Yes, I did. I voted for Wilson Sears.
Oh, my God.
The conservative candidate. Yes. That's all we got, Jesse.
And so, and that's why you voted for her? Because that's all you got?
Well, yeah.
Did you have to vote?
I didn't have to, but...
Why'd you do it then? You voted for a woman.
Yeah. I would vote for...
you want a woman to lead you?
Well, no, I really don't, Jesse.
So why you vote for a woman then?
Because we ain't got no men running.
So you had no other choice but to vote.
I didn't have to vote, Jesse.
But so why?
This is 2 really stupid people talking to each other, right? I feel like Jesse Lee Peterson might be mentally handicapped. I feel like it's wrong of me. And what does that say about the Republican movement? This man can become... I don't want to call him one of their thought leaders because...
What I'm saying, too, well, we didn't have no men candidates, or if I didn't vote for the conservative one, the Democratic...
His nose is so shiny.
What's the difference? You're still going to have a woman. You might well have a Democrat woman. It's the same thing.
No, Democrat women, I tell you, at least conservative women tend to be, a little conservative biblical, but however...
In what way?
What's that?
How are they conservative biblical? Who you voted for? What's her name? Wilson Sears?
He doesn't even know who... This dude is a political talk show host, and he doesn't even know who the caller is talking about in one of the most high-profile races this coming November. Stop having opinions on shit you know nothing about. You don't even know who the woman is. It's Winsome Earl Sears. She is apparently a darling of the right. She goes on Fox News all the time. She's got multiple videos for PragerU. Fucking Jesse Lee Peterson doesn't even know.
Sears. Yeah.
She's
a black lady.
You said she's conservative and biblical?
Yes.
What do you mean by she's biblical?
For example, hold on, Jesse. I can give you a couple of topics that interest me. And
tell me because of time. What do you mean she's biblical?
Well, she supports biblical values. You see what I'm saying?
Like what?
Like she's against abortion. She's against using taxpayers' money to fund abortion. She's for IDs. For when you go vote. She's for you have an ID when you vote.
Is she married?
Yes.
Why would a married woman run? Why would a married woman try to be in leadership if she's biblical? She knows that's not of God. Why would she do it?
Yes, sir. That's all we got running, brother.
But why, if she's biblical, why would she run for a leadership role, knowing that against God?
You got a point there, Jeff.
No, there's a question. Hold on, Rick. Hold on. I will go back to Rick out of Hampton, Virginia, and Rick talking about
I can't find. I'm pretty sure she did a PragerU video at some point in time. I can't find it. But also, YouTube, Google are not the best search engines anymore. This is a speech she gave to Liberty University. This is Winsome Earl Sears. Oh God, there's some kind of Jesus shit
make it through.
involved.
God, we pray that you.
That's not her.
To ensure.
Here you go.
So that you can launch into this world that the Lord has given us. And two things I want to point out today.
This is the candidate for governor of Virginia from the GOP side, Winsome Earl Sears.
You're a tenant. Have you ever looked at the agreement that you make with the landlord?
Now, all of you know who Abigail Spanberger is, and we all hate her very much. But we can all agree she would be a much better governor.
You gotta go.
Than this woman who was speaking at
You and that's me.
Liberty University.
Who's the tenant? You are. And who is the landlord? He is. Because these bodies of ours, they don't even belong to us. We agree, or we hope to agree, to live in these bodies.
I'm driving it like I stole it. That's for fucking sure.
And then he says, I want you to do certain
I can't whack off to this.
body that I've given you. And then after a while, it's time for us to give back this body. Now, some of us, we do everything we can to keep this body maintained, don't we? Yeah.
Do you?
But then after a while, it's time to go. And so we hope that when he calls us home, that we will be glad with the things that we've done in these bodies. So folks, here it is. We are living in a rental.
I'm pretty ashamed of the things I've done with my body. The things I've stuck my dick in.
We're living in a rental, acting like we own it because so many people, they ignore the Lord.
I'll just put it in anything.
They act as if they brought themselves here. But they're going to find out one day that that's not the case.
God is an Indian and you're an asshole.
You have a maker, and they're
Get
gonna
on your horse and ride.
one day. So that I want you to remember. You're living in a rental, and one day you're going to have to give it up. The next thing I want to talk about is faith. Yes, faith. Why faith? Well, because it says without faith, it is impossible.
Dude, I feel like my mom has given to Democratic candidates and put my email on it. And I get constant emails from candidates I do not support. You want to check back in with the flotilla? I'm not high enough for this shit. There's a live look at the flotilla currently. 3 of the ships. 1 looks to be down right now. I don't know where. Are they headed back now? Now that they have been intercepted by Israel, are the people that they've left on the boats, are they headed back? I'm not sure how this process works. A total of 38 people. 38 people from 16 countries kidnapped by Israel. This is actually, encouragingly enough, this has sparked protest overnight in multiple places. Demonstrations broke out in Barcelona, Rome, Athens, Brussels, Berlin and Istanbul. This is Athens. This is Istanbul.
يومين فقط، وبالتالي نحن أمام زخم ربما قد يفاجئ حتى الحسابات الإسرائيلية، وبالتالي
I'm not sure where this is.
في التعامل هذه المرة مع هذا الأسطول
Brussels.
هذا التفاعل في أكثر من مدينة وعاصمة أوروبية.
يعني هذا السؤال بمحله، لأنه لغاية الآن احنا بنعرفش ولا ما كانت تجربة لإسرائيل مع اسطول اللي فيه 500 ناشط. لغاية الآن احنا بنعرف في شهر 6 كان هناك فقط 12.
I feel like I should know this statue. That's Berlin, isn't it? Let's talk about the shutdown, I guess. Go back in and check in with the flotilla here in a little bit. How long is this shutdown going to last?
Well, the government is closed, shutting down for the first time in nearly 7 years after lawmakers from both parties failed to reach a deal. Today in Washington, D.C. and other cities across the country, the notices are up and the buildings are closed. Democrats and Republicans arriving on Capitol Hill to a stalemate.
Still time for Democrats to pass this clean bipartisan bill that's sitting before them, and we encourage our Democrat colleagues to do that.
Some federal agencies are considered essential, which means Social Security payments will continue, air traffic controllers and TSA employees will keep flights moving. Non-essential federal workers, however, are staying home. Already as many as 4 million are preparing to go without pay, with furloughs hitting the majority of agencies. The White House is also threatening possible mass firings.
Republicans control the Senate, the House, and the White House. They must have a plan to solve this.
All of this is happening because Congress can't agree on a funding plan. The main sticking point is health care. Democrats want to reverse Medicaid cuts and stop enhanced Obamacare subsidies from expiring. Republicans say they simply want a short-term bill for 7 weeks to keep the government running while both sides work on a long-term funding plan.
When Democrats say we want to work with Republicans to lower premiums, to strengthen health care, all we are doing is reflecting what the American people already want. Nothing more, nothing less.
We can end this today. There is a clean, nonpartisan, continuing resolution at the desk. It has no partisan policy writers, no new Republican policies. It just keeps the government running until November the 21st. The House passed it. The President is ready to sign it into law.
And the Senate officially adjourned for the day and left town in observance of Yom Kippur. The next votes are not scheduled until Friday afternoon.
Left town.
ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
I tried to give you a rundown of all the agencies that would be open and what's affected by the shutdown, because you're going to need to know this. We all have to interact with the government from time to time. So here is a good rundown.
Here's what's open and closed during a shutdown. Services include the U.S. Postal Service, air traffic control, banks, courts, and federal law enforcement agencies will remain open during the shutdown. But you might encounter some disruptions or delays with some of those services mentioned. Tours of the U.S. Capitol, the White House, and FBI building will be closed. Smithsonian museums may also be shut down if this continues.
Sorry, I was thirsty. I thought that'd be a little bit longer. Let's go to Theodore Cruz. Let me hit the content warning before I put him up on the screen. By the way, there was no extra context. He did not correct himself. He said, let's stop attacking pedophiles. And left it at that. He didn't like, oops, I meant to say, nope. Just move the fuck on. I've not seen the clip, but I was trying to Google it, and I got an AI summary, and I was like, all right, tell me what it said. And it said he did not correct himself into his statements. Ted Cruz wants you to stop attacking pedophiles.
Chuck Schumer and the Democrats force a shutdown, which they now have, that President Trump is going to use that as an opportunity not to tell people you're furloughed for a few days, but instead to send pink slips and to get rid of left-wing bureaucrats who are imposing left-wing priorities that are contrary to President Trump's priorities. I think that is fantastic, and what it's going to do is it's going to cause Democrats in Congress to scream and weep and gnash their teeth. I cannot wait for the next Democrat lunch when they start screaming at each other, when they start seeing pink slips go out at the EPA, at the Department of Labor, at the IRS, and suddenly the bureaucrats that they are entrusting to advance their job-killing agenda are themselves without a job. That's what's going to end this shutdown, as the Democrats are realizing that President Trump is making major advances for economic liberty as a result of the Democrats' temper tantrum.
The guy that cut low is melting. My Twitter stopped working. You want to hear from Donald Trump what he thinks about a shutdown and who is responsible? This is Donald Trump.
Fired. Who's going to bear the brunt of the responsibility if indeed there is a shutdown of our government?
Well, if you say who gets fired, it always has to be the top. I mean, problems start from the top, and they have to get solved from the top, and the president's the leader, and he's got to get everybody in a room, and he's got to lead. You know, the interesting thing is in 25 years and 50 years and 100 years from now, when the government is, you know, they talk about the government shutdown, they're going to be talking about the president of the United States. Who was the president at that time? Mm-hmm. They're not going to be talking who the head of the House was, the head of the Senate, who's running things in Washington. So I really think the pressure is on the president.
Fired. Who's going to bear the brunt of the responsibility if indeed there is a shutdown of our government?
Well, if you say who...
You heard the president. Yeah, 15... maybe even more. What was that from? 2013. That would have been 12 years ago. Tell me he's not losing it. Apparently Hakeem Jeffries doesn't think he's losing it. Was asked point blank if he thought Trump was going senile. That was the statement. Shelley, good evening.
And I believe you used the word unhinged the other day.
I did.
Are you trying to draw a line between President Trump's acuity, his mental state, and what's going on here with the shutdown?
No. I'm actually referring to some of his social media posts, which...
So you said erratic, and I believe you used the word unhinged the other day.
I did.
Are you trying to draw a line between President Trump's acuity, his mental state, and what's going on here with the shutdown?
No. I'm actually referring to some of his social media posts, which...
So you said...
So I guess he was referring to the sombrero. Leader Thur was on with Jesse Waters last night. Are they talking about the shutdown, or are they talking about stupid shit like a sombrero?
This is good. Have you heard them ever talk so much about a sombrero?
Yeah, it's been a subject and really overused subject all day up here today. So, yeah, who knew, right? That you could get this kind of content and get this kind of vibe going about it. Yeah.
The thing that this is good.
The Senate Majority Leader just talked about content and vibes. I hate it here. The New York governor's office tweeted this shit out. The Governor Hochul's press office, bro, shut down the government. Oh no, I got more. Come on, I know it's further up. Sorry, this is what happens when I'm not prepared. What is this fucking world that we are living in? That's the governor of New York. This is the governor of California.
Today. I hope, of course, you arrive safely and on time, but you may not arrive on time because the TSA and the air traffic controllers are not getting paid today. Our military is not getting paid today, starting today, and obviously the longer this drags on, the worse that it is for the American people. If you're flying today, I hope, of course, you arrive safely and on time, but you may not arrive on time because the TSA and the air traffic controllers...
The governor of California, Gavin Newsom, PSA from JD. What the fuck? Not high enough for this shit. I feel like going back to clips of them talking about the shutdown is wrong at this point. Do you think they used AI to do that? I know Andrew Cuomo used AI to do this. This is Andrew Cuomo's first commercial in the general election.
Cuomo, and I could pretend to do a lot of jobs, but I know what I know, and I know what I don't know. And I do know how to make government work.
Like, his campaign knows they're going to lose, right?
Cuomo, and I could pretend to do a lot of jobs, but I know what I know, and I know what I don't know. And I do know how to make government work. I'll hire 5,000 new cops to partner with local community groups and keep our families safe. And we'll get the homeless off the streets and into the help they desperately need. There are a lot of jobs I can't do, but I'm ready to be your mayor on day one. Cuomo. And I could pretend to do a lot of jobs, but I know what I know, and I know what I don't know. And I do know how to make government work. I'll hire 5,000 new cops to partner with local community groups and keep our families safe. And we'll get the homeless off the streets and into the help they desperately need. There are a lot of jobs I can't do, but I'm ready to be your mayor on day one. Cuomo. And I
I'm trying to figure out what would be the use of using AI. You can just shoot them on a goddamn green screen. Yeah, we're cooked. Eric Cornhole, what's going on? My lord, welcome. Wait a minute, I already told you good evening. Eric, welcome. I'm not high enough for this shit. Didn't you get upset with me for like not even using your name, and you're in here using your name? He's taking this opportunity to fire a whole bunch of employees, including apparently 800 FBI agents.
Welcome back to The Takeout. Something approximating a purge is going on at the FBI as we speak. Sources tell CBS News that tonight, 800 employees, including a few hundred FBI agents, will be leaving the Bureau. Now, the majority agreed to a DOJ, Department of Government Efficiency buyout. And that goes into effect tonight. But hundreds of others were recently fired. For all the details, we turn as always on such matters to CBS News Justice correspondent Scott McFarland. What's going on?
Okay, so here's the thing. I think the FBI probably does need a cleaning, and ultimately this could be a good thing if it was in the hands of a competent government. But unfortunately, the reason why Trump is doing this is to purge people who are not sufficiently loyal to him out of the FBI and make sure that everybody that's in the FBI is a Trump lackey that will kowtow to any fucking whim that he has. So that's dangerous for us because especially traditionally the FBI has been used on left-wing groups.
Lots of different buckets for people to be departing. Let's get them all separated. First of all, at midnight, that DOJ fork in the road comes due. And some of the people who took that fork in the road were working up to near this deadline, if not to this deadline. That'll include about 800 FBI employees. Roughly a third of them are FBI agents. They'll be off the street. In the broader sense at the Department of Justice, there have been hundreds who've been removed as part of this purge, either leveraged to resign or flat out fired for their connection to criminal investigations of President Trump, investigations of January 6th, or all those other sensitive cases that have popped up from James Comey to cases in California. But you combine all this, and you got a lot of manpower that's gone. But here's what we know from our latest reporting. When the shutdown takes effect, it shouldn't be aggravating.
And many more.
6,700 FBI employees, roughly zero will be impacted by the shutdown, but there's going to be damage done at midnight no matter if this shutdown or not.
And what about the operational scope and tempo of the FBI with these either early retirements or scheduled retirements or dismissals?
You're losing institutional memory no matter what.
Red, there you are.
The president would argue that's for better. I think critics would say that's for worse. But nevertheless, you're
bunch of fucking heathens in here indeed.
FBI. It's no small fee to pay. But there's also the matter of where the remaining employees are going to be. The FBI has been unequivocal, Major. They want to move people out of Washington into field offices. They want them in Milwaukee and Memphis, and they want them in the Northeast and South.
I was just adding emphasis, my lord.
That's all on hold, though, as long as there's a shutdown.
Scott McFarland, it's always great to have you with us, especially when you don't bring a coat and look like a true.
Somebody that Trump can fire, though, is Lisa Cook. She is the Fed governor. Is that the title? Fed governor that Trump tried to oust from the Federal Reserve Board.
Continuing coverage now, the Supreme Court is allowing Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook to remain on the board for now while it reviews President Trump's attempt to remove her. Justices will hear arguments in January. Her lawyers warn her removal could disrupt financial markets and weaken the Fed's independence, while the White House insists the president acted lawfully.
acted lawfully. Let's go to AOC. Who was asked about her possibly challenging. Got banned thread. Day trader got banned. Never paid up.
Let me ask you this. There are some people I have seen who have the following theory of why Senate Democrats have not cut a deal where they give 8 votes and move along. And that is that Chuck Schumer is worried about a primary challenge from you and is worried about the politics to his left flank. And so because of that worry about a primary challenge, he's going to shut down the government. Ergo, it is AOC's fault that the government's shutting down, or that you're somehow the kind of fulcrum of this. And I want to just ask you straight up, are you planning to primary challenge him? Do you think that's why he's doing this?
This is so not about me in this moment. This is about people being able to insure their children. And I will say, because I saw some senators speculating about this, and I saw some Republican members of Congress saying, oh, well, if we have this shutdown, it's because of AOC. Well, if that's the case, my office is open, and you are free to walk in and negotiate with me directly. Because what I'm not going to do is tolerate 4 million uninsured Americans because Donald Trump decided one day that he wants to just make sure that kids are dying because they don't have access to insurance. That's what's not going to happen. And so if those senators think that we're having a shutdown because of me, they're free to enter my office and negotiate, because what we're not going to do is allow all of millions of people in this country to not be able to afford their insulin and their chemotherapy. So come strike a deal with me if that's what they really think is going on.
Regis, sister. Oh, so, I think AOC is, saying the answer is wrong. I'm totally not, if I wanted a hot president, I'd be voting for Joni Ernst. Come on. I think AOC is good, and I think the only way that we get more politicians like her is to support politicians like her. And everybody has been talking about her running for president, and I would rather see her in the Senate. I think she would be much better in the Senate. I think Bernie's running. I still think Bernie's running. Tell me what's different with his schedule right now as opposed to somebody running for president. Does it look like Bernie is slowing down? He's probably doing a speech right now. I'm telling you, he's acting like somebody who's running for president. And if he's the only one that has the cachet, then so be it. But here's the thing, Thread, is I don't think the Dems, there's not some nebulous organization. I mean, I guess that's what leadership is for and stuff, but they're bought and paid for by the donors. It's up to us to, affect change in the party from the ground up. So like we have to put the pressure on the politicians. We have to build a coalition from the ground that puts the pressure on the politicians above us. And having people like AOC being in positions of power makes those kinds of endeavors more amenable. If we have an AOC who's influential in the Senate, because she will be influential in the Senate. She is the top Democratic fundraiser right now. She is the future of the party. She will be an influential voice in the Senate the moment she goes into the Senate. God, I hope you're wrong, Thread. And that's where we have to build it now. Build the coalition that makes sure it's not going to be Newsom or Buttigieg. I don't think it's going to be either of them. And if it takes an AOC to not be either of them, so be it. Let's go AOC. I'll do it then. But as I said, I'd rather her be in the Senate. I don't know who the Democrats' best bet. And we're talking as if we're gonna have a free and fair election in 2028. We're talking as if we're gonna have a free and fair election in 2026. And even like, I don't know if I have it handy, but Bernie put out a statement yesterday where he was talking like, I do not think the Republicans will accept if they lose in 2026. He is trying to sound the alarm about that already. And I mean, they're refusing to seat a member of Congress who has been rightfully elected. Arizona Congresswoman, is it Adelita? Adelita Gravala, the newly elected Congresswoman, has not been sworn in yet.
It is day 2 here in DC. Look at me. I'm surrounded by all of these beautiful structures, these beautiful people, all here to work. And am I sworn in yet? No. Do I know when I'm going to get sworn in? No. Speaker Johnson has left the building. And unfortunately, what that means for us is Southern Arizona does not have a voice here to advocate for you. You also don't have services in district. I need to get sworn in order for that to happen. Every day that I am here without being sworn in, Southern Arizona loses. Reach out to Speaker Johnson. Let him know that I need to get sworn in.
And M. Lord is exactly right. They are protecting pedophiles. They refuse to swear her in because she is the 218th vote on the discharge petition.
Attacking pedophiles. How about we all come together and say, let's stop attacking pedophiles? How about we all come together and say, let's stop attacking pedophiles?
How about no on that one, Ted?
We all come together and say, let's stop attacking pedophiles. How about we all come together and say, let's stop attacking pedophiles?
You do you. I think that is a campaign slogan you should take into the election. I absolutely think you should continue to protect pedophiles. That is the winning position for Republicans going forward. ICE agents shot a Holiday. People have been saying we need to stop calling it a Freudian slip because it seems like he meant it. I went back and found it. He did not clarify. He left it at that. He thinks we should come together to stop attacking pedophiles. ICE agents shot a man, and apparently he ain't no criminal.
In suburban Chicago, a blood-stained car marking a deadly flashpoint in America's immigration raids. The Department of Homeland Security saying ICE officers in Franklin Park tried stopping a vehicle driven by 38-year-old Silverio Villegas Gonzalez, but say he refused to follow commands and drove his car at law enforcement officers, dragging one a significant distance.
Doubt.
ICE saying that officer, who sustained severe injuries, feared for his life, shooting Villegas Gonzalez, who later died at the hospital. DHS describes the individual as a criminal illegal alien with a history of reckless driving, though a review of Villegas Gonzalez's publicly available records by NBC News found no criminal charges. Records show he pleaded guilty to 4 traffic violations, including speeding, the most recent in 2013.
Wow. He sped 12 years ago.
Four traffic violations, including speeding, the most recent in 2013.
Wow. 2 shots.
Yes. In suburban Chicago, a blood-stained car marking a deadly flashpoint in America's immigration raids. The Department of Homeland Security saying ICE officers in Franklin Park tried stopping a vehicle.
Where's the shooting at?
13.
I can't tell.
Wow. 2 shots.
Yes.
In suburban.
If there's blood on the outside of the car, how did he try to ram the cops? Okay, so here's apparently the video. Did I stop it? Did it stop? Okay. He ain't dragging nobody. Oh, there's another one. This is insane. They should have never been there in the to begin with. He's apparently dropping off his kids at daycare. ICE initially claimed that the officer was seriously injured and in serious condition, but actual body cam footage of the ICE agents now shows that they lied. The officer himself says it was nothing major. Quoted in the Chicago Sun-Times saying it's nothing major. ICE officer said his injuries were nothing major after deadly shooting near Chicago. Oh yeah, he said he feared for his life. I mean, cops lie. Cops lie when they have no reason to lie. We now have new footage of the mayor of Newark, New Jersey being arrested. This happened, back in April? Maybe even March?
I'm arresting the mayor, so... Okay? Guys, all right, I'm getting a team because he has cops around me, so... I know, I need my team. There's a lot of them. We're going to need these guys. All right. No, I got it. We're taking them right now. All right. Well, let me talk.
This is bullshit. We've been waiting an hour and now this is
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm going to take him right now.
You think about the day?
Okay.
That's good.
Okay. Come on.
You're kidding.
Okay, even though we stepped out, I'm going to put him in cuffs.
We've been here for over an hour. And we have the right to be in there.
All right, I'm cuffing him right now. All right. Guys, listen to me. We're going to walk out of the gates. I'm going to place the mayor in handcuffs, okay? We are arresting the mayor right now. Per the Deputy Attorney General of the United States.
The Attorney General of the United States gave the order to arrest the mayor of Newark, New Jersey.
The gates. I'm going to place the mayor in handcuffs, okay? We are arresting the mayor right now. Per the Deputy Attorney General of the United States. Anyone that gets in their way, I need you guys to give me a perimeter so I can cuff them and get them on there. If you have body cams, turn them on. Okay?
He advised his security clearly has is armed and went for his weapon while we were engaged. So please, let's just be
We'll
careful.
walk him back in here. Okay. Okay. I already told him on camera that he was under arrest. We're going to place him under arrest. Come on. All right, guys, stay with us. Be careful.
Yeah, that's the one. I'll bring it.
Backing you up.
You know. Stay close, stay close. Get close, get close.
Where's my camera? Where's my camera? Where's my camera?
That's his move.
Get off the bus. Get off the bus. Get in. It's time. Mr. Mayor, you're under arrest.
They got charged with trespassing. It was dropped, right? Like it was laughed out of court, if I remember correctly.
Back up! Back up! Back up!
Nice stick. Real fucking tough. All right, everybody.
The judge rebuked the U.S. Attorney's Office, dismissing the charge with prejudice, urging attorneys to operate with a higher standard and avoid using their roles to advance political agendas.
Fuck out of here! You escalated the situation! Don't tell him! He can't talk to her like that! He cannot!
Am I not here? Am I here?
Talk to her like that! He cannot! He cannot! You tell him to relax! Tell him!
Assaulted me. I am filing a complaint. I am filing a complaint for me.
Yeah, we know.
All right, cool.
Run to a congresswoman like that, and you got to put your hands.
Did everybody hear the resolution? Mayor Baraka was released, or he was released the day of, after he went and turned himself in. 13 days later, the charge was dropped. Elena Haba herself attended his hearing. The judge reprimanded the U.S. Attorney's Office for their sloppy work and what he deemed to be a political prosecution. Not the only time Trump's DOJ been accused of such a thing. Let's talk about that Comey indictment from the other day. This judge also wasn't happy with these stupid fascists.
Thank you for hanging out with us. Transcripts from the court session where a federal grand jury returned the indictment of former FBI Director James Comey reveal the prosecution's handling of the case left the judge confused. Comey was ultimately charged with one count of making false statements to Congress and one count of obstruction of justice. Scott McFarland joins us now. Why the confusion?
Well, the new U.S. attorney in the Eastern District of Virginia, in her first job ever as a prosecutor, signed two different charging instruments in this case, which is untraditional. The judge, according to the transcript, said she'd never seen this before. But
only the best people.
The case itself. We know that late this afternoon, the formal record was submitted that Patrick Fitzgerald will be James Comey's defense lawyer, powerhouse defense attorney and former U.S. attorney in the Northern District of Illinois. We know James Comey goes for an arraignment Thursday, a week from Thursday, in Alexandria, Virginia. But there's always the possibility, Major, the Department of Justice comes in with a superseding indictment, a newer, larger indictment that adds more charges, or at least adds more detail to a bare-bones charging document so far.
Why are you thinking that might happen?
Because so little is in this initial indictment. There's such
They've got
detail. It's
little to charge him with.
It's barely a page and a half. And these allegations against a high-profile defendant could come with a larger explanation, more details, or even more charges before now and then.
Scott, importantly, over the weekend, the president and others around him in the echo chamber of MAGA began to talk about FBI agents.
I'm sorry, Thur.
January 6th and pre-positioning or involvement. Help my audience, help our audience understand fact and fiction.
Well, let me draw the connective tissue first to James Comey. The president last night.
It was me. I dropped out for a second, it appears.
Monitor an investigation of former FBI Director Chris Wray, who oversaw the FBI's response to January 6th. In the same weekend, though, the president perpetuated a conspiracy theory that FBI agents may have been on the ground and helped incite the Capitol riot, citing some new reporting with some newly released FBI documents. What those documents show, according to a review by CBS News, is there were FBI agents who responded to the insurrection, were there after the attack began. There's been no indication, none, that anybody in the FBI was part of.
Even Kash Patel had to come out and correct things.
The documents don't show that. There's been no evidence of that in 4.5 years, and about 1,500 January 6 defendants sought to defend themselves. Not one ever offered a shred of evidence in that regard.
Not to mention the evidence and eyewitness testimony that said that crowd needed no incitement from FBI sources or any other. Scott McFarland, as always, thank you very much, sir.
That crowd needed no incitement, and certainly wasn't Antifa, because I got video of them going, "We aren't Antifa, we're Trump supporters, woo!" But still, right-wingers don't believe you. Right-wingers don't believe that, you know, a right-wing group was prosecuted for burning down the Minneapolis Police Department in 2020. They'll be the summer of love. Like, I don't know what to do with those people. How do I reach them? Yeah, why'd he pardon all those Antifas? That's exactly what Antifa would say. No, that's exactly what dumb fuck Trump supporters would say. Well, they're clearly Trump supporters. They're wearing their MAGA hats and waving MAGA flags. And clearly look like Trump supporters. Not a blue hair in the crowd, thank you very much. Could not have been Antifa. Prove me wrong, bitches. Seriously, that's one of the things that they keep coming to my comments about. Blue hairs. Blue hair, people having blue hair pisses right-wingers off to no end. It's the craziest thing. And I've been trying to figure out how I might make this into a YouTube essay. Have you noticed that a lot of Flash has probably noticed this. Other people in my chat might not get right-wing propaganda the way we do. But there are multiple sites that all they do, they'll take like a TikTok by a trans person and they'll just post it. No comment, no nothing. Maybe a little clown emoji or something. And they're just taking other people's content and they'll get thousands of fucking views on it. Thousands of likes. They're making money on Twitter just resharing videos of trans people just existing to bigots. And that feels incredibly wrong to me. And the people that made those TikToks and shit might not have even been doing it to be, you know, influencers or anything. They're just sharing their thoughts or something. And then they're getting exploited for money by this right-wing grift. In a bald eagle costume. I don't remember a bald eagle costume. The Libs of TikTok chick. And there's like multiple accounts that copy it. I don't remember a bald eagle costume, but I certainly remember Mr. Shaman, who got de-radicalized and then re-radicalized, right? He's back in the conspiracy shit. Like, he got out of it after he did his jail sentence, but I think he's back into it now. It's kind of like the mob. They keep pulling you back in. The DOJ throwing a lawsuit at the LA County Sheriff's Office, which I would usually be in favor of, but it seems like this one might be bullshit by the Trump administration.
The U.S. Department of Justice is suing the LA County Sheriff's Department, accusing it of violating people's Second Amendment rights.
Specifically over the department's handling of concealed weapon licenses.
Our Witness News reporter Sophie Flay is here now to explain why and to tell us what the sheriff is now saying about this. Sophie?
Yeah, David, it started with an investigation. Now we have this lawsuit, and LA County Sheriff Robert Luna says he's disappointed to see the lawsuit and that some of the accusations don't add up. The Department of Justice is accusing the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department of moving too slow to process gun licenses for people who want to carry concealed weapons, according to a new lawsuit. The DOJ says it violates the Second Amendment.
People have a constitutional right today in Los Angeles to be able to go in, get their weapon, carry it, and enjoy those rights, and they're being denied that.
According to the complaint, the Sheriff's Department only approved 2 applicants out of 8,000 over the span of 2 months.
I think there's open hostility in Los Angeles and its leadership to gun possession and gun use. I think that's very clear, and that's what.
While they're also sending troops in order to crack down on crime and saying that LA is full of violent Antifas. This is
exactly what we're seeing.
The lawsuit comes after the DOJ launched an investigation into the delay in March. Earlier this year, the Sheriff's Department cited a significant staffing crisis for the backlog of around 4,000 applications, with only 14 people in the unit approving permits. In response to this lawsuit, LA County Sheriff Robert Luna says,
I'm disappointed.
Luna says they've approved a lot more applications than the DOJ gives them credit for, and he's increased staffing.
I wish we didn't have to make people wait too long, but we've got to do it right. I don't want to be issuing CCWs to people that shouldn't have them, who have criminal histories or have mental health histories. So I want to make sure that when our name's on it, that you actually should have one.
The lawsuit seeks a permanent injunction requiring the Sheriff's Department to issue concealed carry licenses in a timely fashion under the law. David?
We've got a city councilman, and no, before we do that one, let's do this other one that's fucking crazy. Sorry, I didn't prepare for a show tonight. I didn't know if I'd be on or not. Representative Tony Gonzalez in Texas has some fucking splaining to do, I believe. 'Cause something ain't right here. Regina Ann Reggie Santos Evales, 35, a regional district director for Representative Gonzalez, was found severely burned in the backyard of her home in Uvalde on September 13th. This is a picture of Regina Ann. An aide to U.S. Representative Tony Gonzalez, who died of burns earlier this month, poured gasoline over herself before she was engulfed in flames. Police say the death of the aide to Representative Gonzalez was caught on video. Well, we're going to have to watch that whenever it gets released. She was found severely burned in the backyard of her home in Uvalde on the evening of September 13th. She was airlifted to Brooke Army Medical Center in San Antonio, where she died the next morning. Members of the Uvalde Volunteer Fire Department went to Santos Aviles' house at 9:39 p.m. on September 13th in response to a report of an individual who was on fire. Citing a fire department report, the Leader News reported that Uvalde police told firefighters Santos Aviles had doused herself in gasoline and was ignited into flames. The Express News confirmed those details independently. Uvalde police are investigating the incident with the assistance of the Texas Rangers. The Bexar County Medical Examiner has not yet ruled on the cause and manner of Santos Aviles' death. The medical examiner's finding as to the manner of death would indicate whether it was by homicide, by suicide, accidental, or undetermined. Police have said they found no indication of foul play. Santos Aviles had just looking statistically here, if someone was wanting to unalive themselves, they usually go for a much different method. Women usually go for cutting themselves or using medication. Dousing yourself with gasoline and setting yourself on fire is usually a protest thing. That's usually self-immolation is something someone does, as we saw in the case of the soldier that did it. I forget his name now, and that's sad, and that's another reason why I don't encourage that as a form of protest, because of all the shit going on. I can't even remember his name, and he would have been much more valuable to the cause alive than dead. I don't think self-immolation is effective, but it has been used historically by, monks in Tibet. It's not usually how someone would commit suicide. If, they're feeling depressed, they're having suicidal ideation. I just don't see it. Uvalde Police Chief Homer E. Delgado said last week that detectives submitted surveillance footage from Santos Aviles' home to the Texas Department of Public Safety. Preliminary findings. Aaron Bushnell. Thank you, DJ Dub. I don't feel bad about that. And Flash, earlier you asked me about seeing a video, and no, I haven't. Because I encourage you that if you're already motivated to do something about God, if you're motivated in a positive manner to take action in the cause of Gaza and Palestinians, then it's not good for your mental health to continue to watch war porn all day. Hey, you're a sick bastard. I know. You and I both probably were watching fucking beheading videos and shit in the 2000s. I get it. But, I try to stay away from the news. Because doing this show has had a serious impact on my mental health. I just don't think it's healthy. But also, DJ Dub, don't kick yourself. I couldn't remember his name. We have so much information coming at us all the time. We're overloaded. I wish we could honor him for his sacrifice, but I wish he hadn't have done it. I don't think it's a good form because, like, if we don't remember his name, the fucking normies don't even know that it happened. And that's the reason why, you know, when the monks did it, it penetrated the news. Normies heard about it. In this current climate, in our siloed ecosystems, people just won't even hear about it. So it's not a good form of protest. But that's my thoughts. Please, where's my? I know we're all having a hard time right now. So I always want to pop that in the chat. If you need somebody to talk to, reach out to me. You know me on Discord or something. If you need to talk to somebody immediately, call the hotline, text, go to the website, because I may not be available immediately, and I would hate to be in a situation where I wasn't there for somebody. But I am available to talk if anybody needs a shoulder and ears. I'm not good giving advice, but I'm good at listening to people vent. Aw, Carl, I wish I could give you a big hug. It's rough out here right now. And I think that's also contributing to why we're seeing such a rash of violence and unexplained incidents. Oh, Flo, that's horrible. And that is something that fucking Trump cut, because we used to have suicide hotlines specifically for veterans or specifically for the LGBTQ community, because it's better if someone knows your specific instance. It's better if you're a veteran, if you have a veteran on the other end of the line. It's better if you have somebody that's part of the LGBT community if you're on the other end of the line. And that's why I'm disgusted by those cuts. Are you saying it's good that you didn't get the job because you think it might have killed you from a heart attack? I've told you guys, I've made the wrong career choice all the way through my life. I was the district manager for Walmart Portrait Studios for a week. And I was only the district manager for a week because I was like, fuck this shit. I hate paperwork and math and shit. I hate going around and talking to people. I want to go back to taking pictures. 3 or 4 weeks later, I got the check for being the district manager. Holy shit, what the fuck was wrong with me? The only reason I was a good photographer. The only reason they made me the district manager is because I had a vehicle. That company went out of business, because I was 19. They made me district manager of a fucking company. They went out of business a couple of years later. Not Walmart Portrait Studios. It was Portrait Company of America that did Walmart Portrait Studios. Yeah, what is wrong with me? I'll tell you exactly what was wrong with me. Do you want to hear the story? I don't know if I've ever told this one on stream. Buckle up, folks. So before I set out on my journey to be district, I was district manager of the northern part of Georgia, the northern part of Alabama, and the western end of Tennessee. That was my area that I was the district manager of. So I met the regional manager in like Atlanta, and then like my first week was like a trip to all the different stores and meet all the different photographers and the salespeople and yada yada yada. It was basically a trip to Georgia, up through Tennessee and back down around through Alabama and then back through the circle and then come up. I lived in Kentucky. No, I had my father had given me my truck. It was a 2001 Tacoma. This is like 2004. So new truck, put all the miles on it I want. And that was one of the reasons why I had a truck that could haul equipment and shit. That was one of the reasons why they paid me to do the job. So before I set out to do my first week, I tried my best to get marijuana because I love driving down the road, smoking pot, and listening to music. I fucking love it. I'm really into it. I had a good sound system in my truck. I slept with like two people that worked for me. Anyway, not worked for me because I wasn't actually. I was the acting district manager. I could not get any marijuana before I headed out on the road. And I think I left out with, I had like 3 or 4 bowls. I had like a couple of pain pills because I was still on opiates back then. Or was just starting to get into opiates. So I left out on the road without proper provisions for a trip as a 19-year-old. I get to this place called Oneonta, Alabama. Oneonta, Alabama. I remember I'm the district manager of Walmart Portrait Studios. We went to Walmarts that didn't have their own portrait studios yet. This is back in the early 2000s. Not every place had a super center. So I'm going around to small ass Walmarts that aren't super centers. And they're setting up in the aisle and taking pictures still, like the old-fashioned way. We were still on film. I didn't use a digital camera until I went to Olin Mills like a couple of years later. In that kind of photography, I use digital cameras. I get to Oneonta, Alabama. It's a Friday afternoon. I've been driving forever. I've got my wallet in my back pocket, and it has my spare key in it. That's going to be important. The spare key to my truck was in my wallet. And eventually, as I'm driving down the road, I'd take my wallet out of my pocket because it's making my ass uneven. And I'm starting, because I've been on the fucking road hours and hours and hours. The wallet is up on my dashboard. Now, also important in this story is the fact that I'd had a DUI a year before that, and my dad had drove my truck for a few months. I did not know that when my dad had drove my truck for a few months, that he had gotten drunk somewhere and jimmied the passenger side of my truck. Now, if you're familiar with how jimmies work, once you jimmy a lock, you can lock the door back, but you can't use the lock again from the outside. You have to unlock it from the inside. You have to go and get the thing fixed in order for your key to work from the outside. So my truck does not unlock from the passenger side. And I did not know this. My father did not make me aware of this before I got my truck back to my possession. I get to Oneonta, Alabama. It's like a fucking Friday afternoon, 3, 4 o'clock. It's fall. I remember it because football games were going on. I'm at this gas station because I can't find the Walmart. Because once again, Walmart supercenters are easy to find in a town. They're going to be on the main drag as like you're going into a town. Old Walmarts could be any fucking where. Very hidden somewhere. So they're not the easiest to find in a town. I pull over at this gas station. I get out of my truck. I lock my truck without realizing that I'd put my wallet where my spare key is on the dashboard. And I close the door of my truck and I go in the gas station to ask them where the Walmart is. When I come back out, I find out, oh, I left my keys. I left my key, like, oh, that's what it was. I left my keys in the console because I was trying to read the atlas, so I got out and locked my truck without my keys. My wallet is on my dashboard. That's where my spare key is. So I've completely locked myself out. I have to call a cop. A cop comes like an hour later. He's going to jimmy it open for me. He gets a call about some kind of like domestic disturbance, like right as he's getting ready to stick the jimmy in there. And he's like, I got to go take this. And I'm like, you were right there. Just do it real fast. And he went and took the call and was gone for like 2 hours. It's dark. I'm sitting in this gas station, locked out of my truck. He finally comes back. He jimmies open my truck. I go to the Walmart. Now, when I get out, I've got my keys, and I think I can unlock my passenger side door. Because I know after the cop jimmied my driver's side door, I can't unlock from the outside. But I get out and lock my truck anyway when I get to the Walmart. I go in. You guys are not going to believe where this goes. I go in. I do whatever I need to do at the Walmart. I'm supposed to be in a town. Like, that's not supposed to be my last stop at town. Like, I'm supposed to be in another fucking town hours down the road. But I'm way fucking behind because of being locked out. So after I get done with this Walmart, it's like fucking 10 o'clock at night, and I don't want to make the drive. So I'm district manager. I get full price on my hotels. That wasn't something we got for photographers. We just got like $50 for a hotel, and then you went and thinned for yourself. But as a district manager, I got to go and got real hotel costs. So I stayed in a really fucking nice hotel. And apparently some woman followed me up to my room. I get into my room and I'm like, I've got like a pill and a bowl left and I need it. I've been waiting all day for it. And I get a knock on my door and there's this like itty bitty girl standing, like not girl, she's a woman, but she's itty bitty. And she's giving me some sob story about having to get to Birmingham for her dad dying. So, like, I invite her in. I'm smoking at this time. So, like, I'm sitting back smoking a cigarette. I'm still in my suit. I'm in a fucking suit. And she's telling me this sob story about her dad in Birmingham and how she needs $20 to be able to get the gas to be able to go and see him. And she has condoms on her. And I'm like, whoa, what? And I'm like, ma'am. I tell you what, can you get marijuana for me? And she said, yes, I can. And I was like, well, if you go, here is $50. You go buy me some pot. I'll give you the $20. Go get me marijuana. So she did come back. And she's like, I can't remember, like, she asked for, like, the other 20 or something. I ended up being out like $70, $75 or something. She never came back the second time. She never got me pot. She took my money from me. I guess she's some crackhead or something. But I was making really good money at the time, so it wasn't a big deal. But I really wanted the pot because I had told her that if she goes and gets me pot, I'll give her the money to drive to Birmingham. And then she can sleep with me if she wants to. She doesn't have to do it for the money. I'll just give it to her. Haven't we all been stuck in a situation where someone is about to jimmy us but gets a call? Is it common? I wasn't aware that's a thing that happens often, but you know. I got this city councilman in Utah. He's resigned, apparently over the way he behaved in body cam footage.
We cannot fund this because it's not worth our money. These guys have no idea what they're doing.
Are you referring to me? Thank God I'm pretty? I am a dipshit. Curiouser says that it is a fault of me that I always see the best in people, that like I don't. And does that seem weird to you? As someone who like debunks right-wingers and shit, like apparently in person, like I will automatically assume the best of somebody, and I've gotten taken advantage of many, many, many times. So I feel like, aren't most people good? Then again, how do you end up with Trump? How do you end up with genocide? How do you end up... And I'm an asshole when I'm saying that. Aren't most people good? Like, I thought I was like a mean person. You guys should see the comments I get on Rumble and BitChute. Holy fuck.
We cannot fund this because it's not worth our money. These guys have no idea what they're doing.
We start tonight with a story you'll only see here on 2 News. The Smithfield City Council member caught on camera threatening to defund the police department has now resigned.
Now, we first brought you this video on Friday.
Fucking A.
Over the weekend, City Council member Ted Stokes announced his official resignation. It is our...
Why do you have to resign?
News at 5, I'm Mark Cabell.
And I'm Heidi Hatch. Glad you're with us. Police were investigating a car crash allegedly involving Stokes' son when he confronted officers. Other city council members have condemned Stokes' actions in this video.
Yeah, Leslie Duarte spoke to the Smithfield police chief today following Stokes' resignation. And Leslie, what did he tell you about all this?
Mark, Heidi, this is the first time we heard from the police chief, and he certainly couldn't believe what he saw. And he says, what's next after this step?
I'm telling you how you're supposed to do your job because you obviously don't know.
This body camera video shows Ted Stokes,
tell him,
former Smithfield council member, scolding a Smithfield police officer last month.
We pay a lot of money for you guys in the city. Okay. And I decide whether the budget's good or not. And so I think you should go patrol Main Street.
I've been here for almost 23 years, and this is our first negative type interaction with one of our city leaders.
Smithfield Police Chief Travis Allen.
What was your reaction when you saw this council member talking to police department, a police officer like this?
Well, when we saw it, obviously we were caught off guard. We didn't expect him to respond that way.
Justin, I promise you, I will do everything in my power as a city council member to make sure these guys are defunded.
In a resignation letter, Ted Stokes apologized, in part saying, as I stated in my previous apology, I lacked the proper judgment.
Okay, you guys want to watch the whole thing, don't you?
On to explain the context of the incident, saying he was concerned over how the police department was being run. In part saying, many people who voted for me were concerned about the size and quality of our police department. Chief Allen said,
we're going to watch the whole interaction. It was 30 minutes, so I didn't play it. I wouldn't got the story. I think I'm on this dude's side. Give the cops what for. He got hard nipples. He can cut glass. Man, he's got an undershirt on and his nipples are still poking. Like, that man has some super fucking nipples.
Oh, why are you
here? We go.
He's asking you which car is involved. Yeah, I want to know why there's 2 officers responding to such a simple thing.
It was on them.
We pay a lot of money for you guys in the city. Okay. And I decide whether the budget's good or not. And so I think you should go patrol Main Street, do your job, and I'll talk to him and I'll deal with this.
Okay.
Go patrol Main Street. I'm not dangerous.
Blasting nips.
We pay so much money for this.
Okay.
Hey, look, I decide.
Why don't you just hang out for a second?
Go patrol Main Street.
We'll
Make
see.
yourself useful. Come on, guys. Go patrol Main Street. Make yourself useful. Let's not waste taxpayer dollars.
So, tell me what's going on.
Come down here. I've got a family event going on.
Okay, that's fair. I'm willing to do that.
I want to know why you're even here.
Because I am obligated to invest.
tell me
There's
why
a
you're
car that's wrecked down there.
Uh-huh.
Well, it is Utah.
You have already talked to the guy and said that your son had run into his car.
Yeah, and I gave him my insurance and I gave him everything, and we already called and made an insurance report. State Farm's handling everything.
Okay, and it's also over $1,500, so I need to
it's going to be his car's totaled. Yeah. So he called you. That's what you. Yeah, that's all you needed to say. Hey.
Yes, he called me.
Yeah. See, this is the problem, and your guys' lack of training blows my mind. It blows my mind. Hey, Ted. I'm here. There was an accident. The person whose
Will
car
you please
owned...
not step up on me?
No, I'm telling...
I'm asking
no,
you
no,
not to.
No. I'm telling you how you're supposed to do your job because you obviously don't know. Look, listen. Hey, Ted, the person that your son hit earlier has asked that I make a police report. I'm here to do that. Instead, you show up like you're an FBI agent doing some big secret thing. Like, who trained you? I want to know who trained you.
Can I get your son's name?
How old are you?
Can I get your son's name?
How old are you?
Okay.
How long have you been? How long have you been
impede an investigation?
Do you have a warrant to be here?
I'm on public property right now.
I'll cooperate with you, but
yeah, libertarian vibes.
No. You guys have got to learn how to do your job right. We are botching so many.
Is that a kid?
Because of you guys, and you know that. You're aware of everything. And I'm aware of everything.
Can I get your son's name?
You can step onto my property and I will talk to you if you will be reasonable. Let's start the conversation over.
Let's do it.
Please.
Okay.
Hi. My name is Ted Stokes.
I am here because there was a complaint about your vehicle or your son hitting another vehicle, and the vehicle looks like it's totaled.
And the person who made the complaint was the person who owned the car?
Yes.
Okay, cool. We already talked to him. I'm happy to help you out.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we need your...
Now, if that's all he did, I don't think there's any reason for him to resign.
Yes.
For a non-moving vehicle incident.
Yes.
They always send 2 cops.
His driver's license?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I'm all for being a dick to cops.
Do we need...
Will you go get it, Court? I don't have it.
Does he need to come out here?
No. We'll see what happens.
Okay. Can you tell me which vehicle it was?
Yeah, it was that Hyundai Sonata right there.
Okay. So I do have his, or I guess it's your insurance.
It's a pretty area.
Does the car belong to you?
Yes.
Okay.
I stayed there for half an hour. I waited for
Picture fucking ask.
When they got home, I gave them their information. I don't have a problem with you being here. I have a problem with the approach to responding officers to this. And we probably have another accident on Main Street right now.
So it's this one right here?
Oh, I'm sure it's not. I'm sure he uses a ton of water to keep it up.
It's unbelievable.
Is it the Hyundai that's totaled? It's the other car that's totaled.
Yeah, I can't believe you have to...
Look at that Jeep he's got.
Give me one good reason why he's there. Wasting tax dollars. I love that you want me to answer your questions, but you
That was a Hummer, not a Jeep.
He doesn't dispute fault. Like, it's his fault.
He probably called his insurance or whatever, and they asked him to file a police report. Damn, he really did a number on it.
Okay. So, is your son okay?
Yeah, I think he might have broke his nose. Hey, Justin, Ted Stokes. Hey, I've got 2 police officers at my house. This is the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen. Tucker hit a non-moving car on a road. We gave the insurance.
Cash, Bravo 12. Can I get a 1027 by number?
I think he's called the
to make a report, chief to make it fine. 2 officers show up at my house, walk up to my front
247
door.
118 417.
Don't tell me anything other than we're here to do an investigation. And the other officer's still sitting here as backup. Like, this is, Justin, I'm sorry, but...
Sorry, 1090.
This can't happen, man. Like, this other officer needs to leave and stop making this... Needs to go.
Yes, correct.
I'm fine to give a report to this. But he wouldn't even tell me. It wasn't like, hey, Ted, we're here.
They always do that. That is the way they're trained.
Justin, I promise you, I will do everything in my power as a city council member to make sure these guys are defunded. There will be 5 police officers in this town because this is unbelievable that this guy needs a backup officer to make sure I don't hurt him at my house for my son hitting a car non-moving. I waited a half an hour at the guy's house to give him his insurance policy. I'm fine with him making a police report. I'm blown away by the fact that right in the middle of my daughter's birthday party with 5 other cars here for guests. I've got
it's because he's a
birthday party.
So in the middle of a daughter's birthday party
at my house. And this guy's
Can I talk to your son?
That's why he's flying off the handle.
Macomb. I've got Hanson and Macomb. This is unbelievable. Like, get on Main Street, the other officer, and go patrol. Instead, they're making sure Stokes doesn't do something. Like, I don't know if this is retaliatory or what. Because I didn't.
Retaliatory.
Like, it better not be. I'm telling you, Justin. Like, this is over. Like, this is the last straw. I've got 2.
He's telling me, Curiouser.
During the birthday party, and he couldn't even tell me why he was here other than he was to investigate a car accident that he acted like we had done a hit and run for. Like, that's how he approached me. He didn't say, hey, Ted, guess what? Like, some guy wants to make a report. We're here to do it. We understand you gave him your...
Or is Nip still blasting?
Doing that, but we're obligated to make a report. I'm fine with that. You should have seen this guy approach. Actually, I'll send you the ring footage. You will be blown away by this.
Dude can cut fucking glass.
But this is the last straw.
Slice diamonds.
Express my complaints, but this is it. This is the last straw.
He's had it.
They're both here because he's afraid I'm going to jump him. I approached him to talk to me. He says, you need to...
Machine gun jubilees.
I'm like, I'm standing here talking to you with a Sharpie in my hand. You think I'm going to hurt you? These guys are so untrained, Justin. It blows my...
But no, they're doing exactly what they're trained to do.
Like, I don't know if there's a way to amend the budget now, but I want to amend it, and I'm going to call the other council members tonight. I'm going to tell them exactly what happened, and we are amending.
Listen, I have watched a gazillion cop interactions. These guys did exactly what they were trained to do. The whole walking up and not saying anything, like that's a fucking cop tactic. 2 of them being together, always a cop tactic. Because they are afraid of ambushes and shit. Bud needs a titty slap.
5 officers. This is it. We need 2 officers on duty in the morning. We need 2 officers on duty in the afternoon. We need 1 officer on duty at night. This is the most unbelievable thing I have ever seen. Come on now.
We're thinking he's a libertarian. He's a city councilman in Utah, and that fucking lot is beautiful.
I need to talk to you first thing in the morning. This is unbelievable.
It's like Smithfield, Utah. Yeah, Smithfield City.
All right, well, let's talk about it in the morning. I'm sorry, Justin. Like, I know.
Seriously, Curiouser, when you see if the cop turns around, holy shit, the view, the vista.
An officer pulled someone over, in front of just in front of the
and all those fucking power lines ruin it.
Or what's it called? Summit Creek Fitness. The guy
Nipritarian.
Like right past the intersection. The guy was an idiot, right? He pulled over like 5 feet past the intersection. So our officer parked right in the middle of the intersection and no one could make a left-hand turn or a right-hand turn or go straight through a main street intersection for like 30 minutes while this guy did his stop. What would you have done, Justin, if you were the officer in that situation?
I would have said, fuck you, pal.
You would have got out of the car, you would have gone up and said, hey, can you pull 20 feet forward so I can pull in behind you? But no, the officer parked smack dab in the middle of the intersection and
would
sat there
Justin
and did his
do?
20-minute stop. And I have pictures of it. I have videos like, Justin, we cannot fund this because it's not worth our money. These guys have no idea what they're doing.
So he's a city councilman in this. Well, he was. He has resigned as of a couple of days ago.
To handle this issue.
Following this video coming out.
I am done. Like, this is the last straw. It is the last straw. I am done with these guys. I'm embarrassed. I'm flat out embarrassed. I get a ticket 3 weeks ago for rolling through a stop sign at 7 a.m. And the officer says, sorry, I had to do it. Turns out, I find out, him and the chief are giving each other high fives the next Monday. Like, Justin, I've got 3 officers in the force who tell me everything. I know everything that's going on. Like, I am done with this. Like, it's done.
It's done.
Well, I want. I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you tomorrow morning. There's changes have to happen, or there's going to be problems. Thanks. Bye.
Okay. So does your son need medical attention?
No, I think he was bleeding his nose pretty bad. We handled it, but like, you know, we're competent parents. If he needed medical attention, we would take care of it.
But you think he might have broke it?
I don't know. We're going to go check it out tomorrow and see. Like, we would handle that, right? Tell me why you think I couldn't handle my son's medical attention.
I think you can.
Don't I? Isn't that my?
You have a right.
Isn't that my? It's not a right. It's my legal obligation.
But it's your right to be able to.
It's my
to
right
choose
and
whether
my
he's
legal
seen.
obligation. So yeah.
Okay. Can I talk to him?
What do you need to talk to him for?
Just to find out what
I can tell you
what
everything that happened. He had he had stake youth council. He's on a youth council for the church.
Okay.
He pulled out of the stake center. They gave them muffins, chocolate muffins. You can see him on the front seat.
Muffins.
He set the muffin on the seat, and he was going to eat it when he got home because he's fasting, and we were going to eat dinner at 5. And he set it down, and the muffin fell down onto the carpet. You can see where the frosting like got on the carpet. He picked it up, which he shouldn't have done, and he set it back up on the seat. When he looked up, he kind of veered off.
I get
and hit this guy.
Yeah. I have a sister that years and years ago did almost the exact same thing. Bend over, grab the stick,
Bend over,
went across the road. Luckily, he went this way instead of into oncoming traffic.
I'm super grateful. Though no one was in the car. He's okay. He has a bloody nose. We'll look at it tomorrow and make sure it's not broken.
Okay. Do you know if he was wearing his seatbelt?
He was.
Do you know how fast he was going?
I don't think. I asked him. He said, Dad, I pulled out of the thing, and I had let off the gas because I'm going downhill anyways. He turns left at that intersection. The car got pushed about 15 feet, 10 to 15 feet.
I think I'm done with him. I think
he wouldn't be going too fast because he knows he's turning left.
I think the juicy part is
He
happening.
should have turned left, but he bent over to get the muffin and
Gotcha.
hit it.
Okay. At this point, I just need to fill out the witness statement, or not the witness statement, but the.
I may have to go intersperse myself in the dude talking to me. That could be fun. And then the muffins. I'm gonna miss that moniker. Yeah, who puts frosting on muffins? That's not a thing. You know how every time we have a hurricane, we have all those videos of homes falling into the ocean? Yeah, we're doing that again right now.
This dramatic video from North Carolina's Outer Banks. Beachfront homes reduced to rubble. Churning surf from Hurricane.
This is Umberto,
causing at least
Imelda
houses to collapse on this barrier island. Fortunately, all of them were unoccupied at the time. Although the twin storms won't make U.S. landfall, they continue wreaking havoc in the Atlantic Ocean, producing dangerous waves and rip currents along the East Coast. Communities from Florida to the Carolinas had been preparing for the worst.
There was a storm way off the coast,
can still bring those rip currents and those strong tides and really affect our beach system.
Frosting on waffles.
Toward Bermuda.
Sounds like the most stoner thing I've ever heard.
Front structures are in danger of collapse.
Are they gonna merge?
The 5 homes lost Tuesday are just the latest to disappear.
Is it a hurricane gangbang?
17 homes have crumbled into the ocean since 2020. This morning, officials cleaning up debris and urging caution as even more dangerous swells are expected in the days ahead.
And again, people should remain vigilant along the East Coast this week, whether it's for high surf, rip currents, or coastal flooding. There is some kind of advisory for communities from Florida up to Maine. Savannah?
Jesse Kirsch in Florida for us this morning. Thank you.
All right, for more on those hurricanes and the rest of the weather, Mr. Roker standing by. We're tracking Imelda and Umberto.
That's right, 2 twins.
Mr. Roker.
Right now, doing what they can to cause problems for Bermuda. We're looking at Category 1 for them.
I feel like it's a cupcake.
Category 1 as well. You can see it's going to come fairly close, Bermuda for Imelda. About 15 miles from the.
We watched Bob's Burgers last night.
This evening through tomorrow morning. We're
after
talking
the
about
stream.
Near 100 miles per hour. Storm totals.
Curious, sir. What should we watch after the stream tonight? You got a preference?
So they are pretty well prepared.
You want me to give you picks?
Coast from Daytona Beach, Wilmington, Kill Devil Hills. Large swells today and tomorrow. Coastal flooding, rip currents, and hazardous surf, as Jesse mentioned, all the way up into New England. Cooler today. A little bit of a brisk day to start out here in the Northeast and New England. Warm in the Midwest. We're looking at more rain and wind coming into the Pacific Northwest and Northern California. Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget,
You're welcome, Al.
Every morning on.
You can call me. He doesn't sound like he used to. The hell, like why does he sound like that now? We've still got plenty of news to go. Police chase is an option. Police chase is an option. This is a video of, apparently this is a town called Dnipropetrovsk in Russia. There's a blackout, and then moments later you will see a flash in the sky.
Чтобы положили слишком много майонеза. Бывало, работник положит немного, посмотрит на меня вопросительно. Я киваю, что еще. И так раза. Чтобы положили слишком много майонеза. Бывало, работник положит немного, посмотрит на меня вопросительно. Я киваю, что еще. И так раза. Чтобы положили слишком много майонеза. Бывало, работник положит немного, посмотрит на меня вопросительно. Я киваю, что еще.
Tales from the Crypt. Crunk on Earth. I'm sorry, Kunk on Earth. Crunk. A Penn and Teller, but you don't know which one it is. Or whose line is it anyway? Fuck, I don't even remember the ones I named off. I had a cartoon, right? Did I put a cartoon in there? I was thinking it's probably a Transformer.
Так раза. Чтобы положили слишком много майонеза. Бывало, работник положит немного, посмотрит на меня вопросительно. Я киваю, что еще. И так раза. Чтобы положили слишком много майонеза. Бывало, работник положит немного, посмотрит на меня вопросительно. Я киваю.
Yeah, I forget the options I gave. Repeat and Pete. A Penn and Teller, but you don't know which one. Kunk on Earth. I should just put on Kunk on Earth. Everybody will like that. Fraggle Rocker Muppet Show. Kunk. Okay, yes, Kunk. That's exactly what we need to watch. Yes, come join us on Kick. One of us. One of us. A TikTok creator flew to Scotland to yell at the creators of Grand Theft Auto. A TikTok content creator allegedly flew all the way from the United States to Edinburgh, Scotland, in order to stand outside the offices of Grand Theft Auto 6 developers Rockstar North and yell at people entering and exiting the studio. According to the creator, he is sick and tired of waiting for a new trailer or information on any further delays.
When's the delay? When's the next trailer?
Oh shit.
I want to know. You don't know. We are live here from Edinburgh, Scotland. I flew all the way over here because I'm sick and tired of waiting for the answers. Right now, we are here, right here, live from Rockstar North. I told you guys I wasn't playing around.
He wasn't playing around.
Is there another delay? What about the trailer? Is there another trailer? You can't tell me? You can't tell me? You can't tell me nothing. When's the delay?
When's the delay? I don't think there's gonna be a delay. Last I heard, they were right on top. You're not sticking around without a sword. Hold on, let me go. I don't know how to do it. I think I gotta go into like my dashboard. In the settings, maybe in the security. Nope. Channel. Roles. There we go. There we go. Moderators. Let me go find your name. God damn it. This is a process. Who else do I need to mod while I'm over here? Curious, are you over here? Ah, fuck, let me go ahead and wrap things up. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a sad animal video tonight. Well, I got a happy one too. We're gonna pay our respects. Dick's out for Jane Goodall.
We need to recognize at the outset that what we do to animals, from their perspective certainly, and probably from ours, is morally wrong and unacceptable. And that it's really important to follow through all these exciting new leads into ways of doing research without using animals, and do that, you know, where is the big encouragement? Where's the political will? Where is the funding for this kind of research?
Jane Goodall, the conservationist famous for her groundbreaking chimpanzee field research and global environmental advocacy, has died at age 91. While living among chimpanzees in Africa decades ago, Goodall documented the animals using tools and doing other activities previously believed to be exclusive to humans. Her observations transformed how the world perceived not only humans' closest living biological relatives, but also the emotional and social complexity of all animals. The Jane Goodall Institute announced the primatologist's death Wednesday. A spokesperson for the institute said she will be remembered as a tireless advocate for the protection and restoration of our natural world.
Yeah, I saw Harambe memes. Dick's out for Jane. Here is an alien trying to suck the brain out of a orange cat. It is not succeeding. There are no brains in an orange cat. So two aliens. I'm a little extra dumb too. YouTube people, podcast people, light one up, tip one back. It's alright to have a little fun when we hit the sack. We'll see you tomorrow night on the Troll Patrol, live. Kick people, stick around. We're gonna have more fun.